Man. Buga Bob. Yeah, man. Grab yes. Udakora nakaje. Oya nakaje. That's not
Every day is a brand new day. A day to learn and know something that we didn't. He is called Carlton, a Rastafari that has spent 20 years without drinking water. Surprisingly, he is still healthy. Well, he wasn't like this before. He was a rich man that loved people a lot. But this changed his life completely from the moment that he was taken to prison for a crime that he says that he did not commit. He is a father to 4 children. 2 of them are twins. He lives with his mother and other people that he takes care of because they are too poor to manage a life on their own. And because of his faith, he believes that each and everyone should find someone that is less fortunate and help them out. No one ever thought that there would be a human that would ever spend a week avoiding water. But today we met a man that proved us all wrong. He has spent 20 years without taking water, and he is willing to spend more that he also doesn't know. They live in a faraway village, and no vehicle can ever get close to his house because of the poor roads in this village. But he also gives away all he has to people so that these roads can be repaired. He says that it is the call of doing good that lives in him. In Burundi is where we found this man, with a family, a guitar, and what he calls the love of doing good. He hasn't drunk water for 20 years now. Yes, 20 years, but he is still healthy, and just looking at him, no one can even realize it. And most of the people said that this is impossible. It all started years ago when he was a rich man in this society. Everyone loved him, and he hadn't yet turned into a Rastafari. He used to drink water just like most of us do. He used to get a lot of visitors from this area, some of which that he sometimes didn't know. But because he was social and friendly, this wasn't much of a big deal. One day, he got visitors that ruined his life completely. They are the reason that he and his family turned into this today. They came to his home early in the morning, talked to him, they laughed and had a great time just like others do. One of these men had an envelope that had documents inside. He really did not know what was inside, and since they had a great time of enjoyment after they got drunk, he says that it is why this man forgot the documents in his house. The next day after the men had left is when he saw these papers. He did not mind, and he decided to keep it so close so that in case they came back, he would surely give it to them back. It was a week now, and they hadn't yet come back for it. And all he saw was the police coming to his house. He kept on wondering what the police had come to do at his home. He waited to hear what they had to say, but they did not. Before they even said anything, they entered and started searching his house. He let them search because he was not afraid of anything. But when the police landed on these documents that were left in his house, this is when it all began. He was arrested and taken to jail, only to find that these documents belonged to a car which these men had stolen before they came to his house that morning. They admitted that they had done this, and they gave the car back to the owner. They paid some money to the police for their release. But since he was not involved in all this, he did not see any reason to pay for a crime that he did not commit, because he was also going to be considered a thief if he had paid this money. He says that he had the money that they were asking for, but there was no way that he was going to ever allow them to consider him as a thief. So when he refused to pay this money, he was immediately thrown in prison, and the whole case was put on his shoulders. This man was transferred to the main prison for imprisonment. He couldn't believe what was happening, but it was. He had to figure out something to do while he was in prison, because he knew that no one would ever take care of him. Since he was a barber before he got arrested, it is what he decided to do in prison as well. And this is how he managed to survive for the many years that he spent inside. During all this while, he learned something. He had seen how people had developed cold hearts because of money. He did not want to become like one of them, and this is why he adopted this Rastafarian religion, which loves people for who they are more than anything else. From that day, he stopped trimming off his hair, eating meat, or even drinking water. He says that drinking and avoiding water is not part of this religion, but he loved it as a person and just decided to do it. Years later, he was sent out of prison, and when he came back, a lot of things had changed totally. His family had been told that he was dead, and when they saw him coming back, they couldn't believe their eyes. This is his mother. She says that she always wanted to visit her son in prison, but she was too old to even go anywhere. She was so happy when she saw him coming back home alive, because she already thought he was dead. She says that Carlton is the sixth born in her children, and despite him, all others moved to different places that she has no idea about. But in all of them, she failed to find any that has a heart like his. He always does the right thing, no matter the situation that he is going through. This is one of the people that live with him. He says that this man blessed them. He gave them a place to stay, of which they did not have an idea about. He keeps moving around with his guitar, giving joy to everyone that he comes across. And this is why they believe that he is a blessing to them and the society as well. He named his children one Bob, another Mali. And since they live in a very far village where ambulances cannot get to them, when one of his children is sick, they carry him to the nearby hospital. As it is well said, there is no better exercise for the heart than going down and helping people who can never repay you back. Thank you for watching. My name is Prince. This is Afrimax English, and do not forget to subscribe.
Ibagire, kahise kabi